Hello everyone, welcome to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. So tonight we're sitting here with my good buddy Steve. He's a recent convert over to Flesh and Blood, and I have a lot of questions for him as someone relatively new, not only what he's enjoying right now, but also what he would like to see in the future. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey folks, so thanks for tuning back in today for kind of an irregular cast. You'll notice we're actually shooting on my gaming table. That's why there's no lovely backdrop. But kind of the background on what happened tonight was we were at the Gongai tournament. Steve was able to actually make it out, which was fantastic. Yeah. And I had to run back real quick to take care of my son so my wife could go out as well, right, doing our exchange thing. And I was like, hey, why don't you come back and play some games? In doing that, we jammed, 2 games, yes. Right? Trying to teach him how to play Azalea because he's a masochist. But no, so in doing that, we were talking a lot about what he's looking for, what he's really been enjoying, and some of the struggles he's been having getting into the game as someone who's relatively new. And I thought that tonight's discussion might benefit other people who are maybe in the same boat. Yeah, so thanks, Steve, for throwing yourself on the mercy of the internet.
Yes,
and
be gentle.
Yeah. So just to put it in perspective, Steve is one of our old Star Wars Destiny people. He's actually been on Commando Cast before, but it was like a long time ago. But
very long.
You've been following the channel forever, yes. Right? And kind of converted over to FaB, kind of in the background while you were going through school and dealing with birthing children and all that.
All of it.
So why don't you bring us up to speed of kind of your quickly your history with Flesh and Blood, where you're at now, how you got into it and all that, right?
Nothing crazy exciting. It is, I don't know if there's anyone else out there like this, but if you're interested in this, but you're also having to put a lot of intellectual energy into something else like nursing school, something just as like as an example, in the middle of all this recent nonsense, it's difficult to put that energy in. Even if you like it, even if you like the art of the cards, even if you have, if you're, I guess, learning it, and you see the videos online that are being posted, and you're like, I don't know what's happening, but I love it. So I finally got in a position where I could devote more time to it, devote more energy, and it's been a blast already. But every single game has been, I think the nicest way to put it is a learning experience.
Yeah.
the nicest, safest way. It's been an absolute just beat down on me, but I've loved every minute of it because everyone, especially at Gongai, has been so gentle in their treatment of me. It's been really fun. Yeah, that's pretty much
well, I mean, you speak to Gongai particularly, and I think Gongai has a great community. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I think that there are a lot of LGSs out there that are saying they're very welcoming to new people. They're very encouraging. Yes. You have great experience with another. Go ahead. Well, I mean, go ahead. Another area in town, or another LGS in town.
Yeah, Fable Hobby. The guy there named Trevor. He's been really good in getting me into the game. So accommodating. So, I don't know. This guy wants people in the game. He wants to talk about it. He's a good guy. So that part of the reason why I'm even here with the cards in hand is because of him. So, very awesome guy, and every single person in our community. So, it's I don't know. It's the LSS designed this as Flesh and Blood. Because they part of the reason is they said they wanted people in person playing this.
And then a pandemic hit.
It seems like despite every obstacle, a community is growing, and it's just awesome to be a part of it and to witness it. And I don't know, it's great to be where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to add on, I mean, again, kind of the point of why I wanted to have this discussion was in the community at large, aside from the interactions we have maybe on a weekly or maybe bi-weekly or more, depending on, how into it you are or what your opportunities are, you get the in-person, but a lot of what's dictated is the online community.
Yes.
Right? Which can very much be an echo chamber. And it's also very much dictated by the uber competitive or whatever it may be. And that's why I thought it would be interesting to talk to you tonight and bring you on and kind of get your perspective on where things are now and where they're going, because there's a lot of people out there who participate in the community who aren't necessarily going to be the guy who's posting 8 times a day on whatever social media forum it may be, right? So the main thing I have, not the main, the first question I have is let's start out. What are you playing? What's your main deck right now?
Good question. I like talking about this. I think for me, the easiest, it just leapt out of me. The easiest person to start out, or the hero to start off with, is Prism, Herald Prism specifically. Just running, it's an easy turn. You got your pitch. You got to make sure it's yellow. You got to make sure it's the right Herald. You got to be able to react to what they do. It's very simple. Yet, it dives you into everything else. Like, you still have to account for every other hero. You still have to make decisions. All the same. I don't know. You still have to consider all their equipment and everything. It's a perfect starting point. Starting with her, and I've fallen immediately in love with Azalea. Just playing you.
So it's a bad life choice.
Already you guys are not trusting what I'm saying, because you're like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He wants Azalea.
No, I've been trying to swing him to Lexi. Lexi and Voltaire is pretty good.
I probably will go that route, but already, like, just I guess the underdog. I guess the underdog kind of hero. I'm already drawn to that. I was blue hero Destiny.
So when what was the timeline on your entry point? It was Monarch, right? Was essentially your entry point. Is that why you aligned with Prism? Because
I think so.
Did you buy stuff before that, or?
I did buy stuff before that, but I guess I never had the time to put anything together.
Yeah. Well, and I know I'm
Yeah.
interrupting, but just to put things in perspective for people here, based on the pandemic or based on the COVID local restrictions, we really weren't open much. Actually, we basically reopened on Monarch. Actually, like, some of the Monarch releases were kind of like maybe done not properly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
there was some
we were like a week early, and it was kind of like a type of situation.
Also,
right? So,
there was people figuring a lot of things out. There was some moments people didn't know what was right, what was wrong, who knows what. But yes, Monarch was when I was like, oh, okay, now I dive in.
Right.
Tales of Aria came out. Trevor helped a lot with that and said, you've got to check this out. I did. I loved it. One of the strange, fun aspects of this is cracking packs with kids, and Monarch was a bad one to start with because there's a lot of the Seeds of Agony kind of things. Yeah. But
that's an interesting point that has come up a couple of times, and it's an unfortunate bully. It's an internet bully situation. People have made that comment on online boards and are basically told to just go play with themselves. Which I do think is. I mean, but on the flip side, they are rated, the packs say 16 plus.
16 plus.
So,
so it's up to the parent to make wise decisions, and I'm still learning wise decisions. But so I learned my lesson there. But then Tales of Aria came out, and I was cracking packs with my 5-year-old daughter, and there's nothing in there that.
Aria is a beautiful set too.
Aria is gorgeous. If we're just talking artwork here, it is a perfect introduction for, like, I don't know. The kind of age group that appreciates just green, leafy, beautiful vegetation. I don't know. It's great. So that was really fun to just have that moment to relearn this card game, because I had a concept of, Welcome to Wrathe and Arcane Rising, I suppose. And then Tales of Aria came out, and I get to, like, okay, this is a whole new world I'm opening up here. Anyway.
Well, that's a good... it wasn't really on our agenda, but that's a good topic, right? I mean, how have you seen... because I know that you were involved in at least the existence of the game in Arcane, right?
Yeah.
So
when I jumped in.
How have you, as a relatively new player, I mean, you jumped on Prism pretty easy.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, maybe I'm answering my own question there, right? I'm just curious how you've seen the escalation in complexity. But I mean, I guess you weren't really actively playing before that, right? So.
True. Well, for me, Prism allowed me to see everything else play out, like in front of me. Where I haven't even seen, I've never played against Dash. I've never played Dash. I've never, that's like a whole different world, but I get to see.
Did you get to play against her tonight?
No.
Oh, you didn't run up against Matthew? Okay.
Only Earth.
Oh, that's right. You ran against 3 Briars tonight.
Right.
That's right.
I don't know if everyone knows this, but I think Earth Briar may be a thing. I don't know. She might be big in the future. Keep your eye on Earth Briar. But
you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, this is it. This is my hot take here. But no, so I haven't seen everything, but everything I've come against, I get to learn, I guess, and when you learn 1 or 2 heroes, or at least like the action plan of 1 or 2 heroes, you get to kind of see, I guess, map out in your head where everyone else lands, I suppose. So that has been a really good thing. Prism is a perfect hero to start. If anyone's looking for her hero to start with, I recommend her. Herald edition, not necessarily Aura edition.
Yeah.
Herald of Eruditions, as many as you can, put them in your deck.
So, again, I wasn't really. This is why I enjoy talking with you. Is that our agenda gets. Oh, and you're picking up coasters.
I'm sorry.
our agenda gets blown out of the water, right? But that is something that I think that my own bias showing here is in this game. One of the ways that I learn the game is by playing the different heroes.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. But there are other people out there who prefer to just dive in and be like the Prism guy.
Yeah.
Right. Or gal, or whatever, as it may be, as you choose to be. So I think how has your view been in this game with, if you just wanted to pick up Dash tomorrow and you don't have a Tekla Foundry Heart, that's it's a barrier to entry. I mean, that's maybe a bad example because I think Tekla Foundry Heart's pretty low, and like Prism actually with the footsteps, like I think you don't necessarily need footsteps to try Prism, but there are certain heroes out there that you can't play. I feel you can't play without their stuff.
Yeah.
Like Bravo, for example. Like I think you need the plating to play Bravo.
Yes.
So how is that? How does that affect your learning curve?
Good question.
Because you can't, and again, I obviously my bias in the way I asked that question is showing. I grant that. Thank you. I'm sorry. But how do you do that? How do you go wide in your learning when you can't go tall in your money?
Oh, good question. I am lucky. I do have the footsteps. That's why I'm playing Prism.
Because you pulled the footsteps, right?
I pulled them.
Yeah. So
I'm very, very lucky.
And I do want to say, I think that we see that a lot where someone will go buy a box or they'll buy a couple boxes or they'll just get lucky in that first pack they ever bought, right? Yeah. They'll get the legendary and that ends up being the hero they're on.
Yeah.
And I think that's very indicative of actually what we're talking about here is a lot of people stick to whatever they got the legendary on, not because they were attracted to that hero, but because that's financially makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So for someone like me or like what you were implying 2 minutes ago in this conversation, how do you, if your method of learning is going wide, how do you do that in this game? Or does that turn you off to going wide, which thus stunts your learning?
It's a really good question. Time skippers is people's normal answer to that, like because you can get. I mean, we're talking just Prism here, because you can get that extra action by doing that, but. Man, that is a good point. I didn't even think about it. Someone who doesn't have the footsteps is going to have a real tough time.
I mean, I was too busy putting my own agenda in that question. So let me rephrase the question. Have you felt that you haven't been able to try out a hero because you haven't been able to afford it yet?
Oh.
Let me again rephrase. Not that you haven't been able to afford it, that you have chosen not to afford it.
True. Yeah, because we could do whatever we want. However,
because not all of us, even if you have $80 sitting here for free, you don't necessarily want to spend it on cardboard.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So has there been anybody who you've wanted to try but have said, "No, what? I'm not going to build that deck because I don't want to buy Tekla Foundry art or whatever it may be?
For me, this is just for me. This may be everyone else, or I'm sorry, a lot of people too. For me, I feel like it wouldn't stop me to do generic equipment for anyone in particular. And some other people might be like, oh, I'm sorry, but you need such and such. Correct. We know this. Even if I don't know that yet, I would still try it. I would still show up to those events with all generic equipment.
You're playing Cross-Strap today.
Yeah.
Right?
I love Cross-Strap. I love it. It wouldn't stop me because I have found in our community, at the very minimum, people are just glad to see someone across the table. It's if they see, oh, you don't have the perfect combination, you don't have the Arcane skullcap. I don't know. Nobody seems to care. Everyone's like, what? Let's play it out. Let's see it happen. That wouldn't be a barrier for me. I would still say, I would still throw it together.
So you'd show up tomorrow with a Bravo with Cross-Strap and Goliath gauntlets.
I would give it a shot.
Okay. No.
I have been.
Perfect.
Pummeled to death by
quite literally pummeled to death.
Quite literally by so many people, and it's been. I've never been so okay with it in this game. I gotta say too. Partly because we're just excited to be out playing a game together. Like all these people are just happy to be there. But just the interaction, just the explanation, just the clarification, the calling for the judges, all that's been fun. None of that's been a barrier. None of that's been like, oh, if only I had this. If only I had this, it would have gone my way, and then I would have gone to whatever national game or whatever Vegas location.
I'm calling you.
But that's me. That's me. I'm not trying to win the gold tunic of Doom. Or whatever.
The gold tunic of Doom.
I'm sure
it's the new legendary.
I was going to say, that's
spoiler.
That's Everfest. It's coming up. Oh, that would be it. I'm not trying to win that. So whatever. I guess I really like that this is just a community of just like everyone's trying their best with what they got. So I'm not a good person to, again, I'm new. Like I'm very...
Well, but that's why you're here.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not the best guy to say like, oh, what's, what does the community need or is this a barrier? Because I've said like, well, who cares about barriers in the first place? Let's just try it. Let's just swing it.
Yes, I think that's a very exceedingly healthy attitude. Not everybody's going to be there.
That's true. Yeah.
But I think I think there are a lot of people out there who, their interaction to Flesh and Blood at this point may be, logging onto a Facebook page, and the global Facebook page has not been impressing me over the last couple months in terms of its, in terms of where it is, right? But there's still good people on there. There's still good things that happen. So that's good news. So, all right. So a bit about what you and I were talking about after, I think, our second game. Yep. Tonight was what you were hoping to see going forward. And to preface this, it started a bit with this man was able to get himself a case of Crew, which he's sitting on in an undisclosed secret location.
I'm not going to.
As of yet unopened.
Yeah.
But that's what started the conversation was, will we see, when we say Crucible of War, we think weapons and stuff like that. And I don't think that many of us think that it's going to necessarily be a weapon-heavy set. But in terms of the power level that Crucible brought to WTR and Arc.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that again? And if so, what are you hoping to see?
Man,
as a new player, what do you want to see?
Good question.
And remember, keep it generic because that's what you're going to get attacked for on the internet.
Be nice, guys. Come on, we're just having fun here. First of all, they have this opportunity, right? This amazing opportunity to flip the entire meta, right? They can
Ish.
What's that? Yeah, obviously if they don't just come out with more, I don't hate Runeblade. I don't. But if they just maybe focused on Warrior, just an example. I like Warrior, and maybe focused a bit on Illusionist. I like Illusionist. Maybe they could give something to Prism, for example. One great thing about this is that every hero seems to have two ways to play. At the very minimum, two ways to play. And there's mixing and matching, and there's all sorts of things. But if you're not going Aura Prism, for example, just one example, you're not really using her instance. You don't really care about the cards in her soul unless you have Cataclysm. If there was something that could deal with her cards in her soul or Boltyn's without worrying about Cataclysm, something else via the Vanguard, obviously cares about it, but
via Vanguard.
There's another. I'm sorry. There's another card.
Talking Beacon of Victory. The attack. The attack.
Yes. There's another card that Boltyn can use to utilize it. He doesn't care about getting the Cataclysm if he has that. If there was something else she could do to just, I don't know, as a. This isn't generic.
So,
don't make fun of me.
Something that's been floated out there. I mean, it was more so for Boltyn, but something that I've seen floated out there is a lot of times with Boltyn, Prism not so much because most of her comes on hit, right? So you've already done what you wanted to do. But with Boltyn, a lot of times you have to put let's say you draw a God Hand. And you still need to charge. That's actually not a God
You're
Hand.
down a card every single turn. He's tough. He's tough to pull.
My point is that card that you're down, like let's say you draw 2 Luminas via the Vanguard and something else, and a 3-pitch, you just put one of your critical cards in your soul. So something that's been proposed for him is something that would let him get a card out of his soul. I had heard this before. I also heard it repeated on Outcast Haven on their podcast that came out a couple days ago when this was being shot. So that's out there as well as
that's better than
basically a non-attack reaction that'll let you charge or something like that. So maybe that's not exactly helping your girl, right?
Yeah.
But I think something that would allow for soul exchange. Heck, that's what we'll call it, soul exchange, right? That's right. Oh, so something like soul exchange where you could trade. Although you play you wrecked me with Rebirth tonight, actually, and that was pretty good with Erudition. So like maybe Soul Exchange is not a good thing because then you could keep recycling Erudition. So actually, maybe that's not a good play. Maybe it has to be warrior specific.
It might have to be. Yeah. I gotta say, I love obviously Erudition is so good, and part of the genius of it is like if it hits, it goes to Soul, so it can't get recycled or something like that. But if there was some other utilization for it, and I like it, maybe, banishing all cards from Soul, but yet you draw that many plus one or something.
That's broken as shit. No,
that's broken as shit. Don't make fun of me. I'm a few in. I obviously want that. I want that. But we're not going to get that. I know this. I mean, maybe like banish cards from Soul and then draw one or draw two or something.
I mean, I think Beacon of Victory is like basically the best you want to do in that situation because it allows you to quite literally charge up, store. It acts as a vault.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you don't want to use that for card draw. That would be. I mean, did you meet old Chane? Like that's what you don't want to do, right? Yeah.
Maybe I was thinking.
But I follow. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shut you down.
No. Yeah, no.
I follow what you're saying.
See, maybe one in which you banish all cards in the Soul, but you gain life equal to that number. I'm not saying something broken. Some utilization.
Well, that's effectively what Lumina does.
Yeah, it is effectively. Yeah, but
well, I mean, not effectively, but essentially what Lumina does. Really.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a very specific thing too. And you guys in the earlier discussion, which was more intellectual than what I.
You're talking the panel that we had after last week's.
In what I can present is that it was more generic. It was more like, what can we do for each class or something. I'm only thinking of the heroes that I'm familiar with, so that's why I go for the Soul kind of concept. But so that's my, I guess, wish if that was to happen.
Sure. So you talked earlier about Runeblades.
Yes.
I think that's one of the bigger challenges that we face with Runeblade is how do you buff up the other classes? I mean, you give them class specific cards. I get it, but any non-attack that's generic is a threat.
Any single one, Gorgon Tome.
Well, yeah.
We were talking about how my own intellectual monologue was saying how kind of absurd Duskblade was. We all know. We all know. But I was like, it's interesting that they gave Duskblade the benefit that already, or the condition that would benefit it, was a condition that would already benefit other things for it. I thought maybe if they gave something else to Runeblade that would benefit from a different condition. I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, Runeblade's identity, fundamentally, right? When you look at Runeblade on the surface, you're like, their fundamental identity is arcane damage plus physical damage, which is true, but really their fundamental identity is doing a non-attack into an attack.
Yeah, and that's the condition that allows for a lot of
all of the weapons right now reward doing that.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but so do the heroes. I mean, not Chane specifically, I suppose, but he facilitates it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with. There's a ban announcement coming out on the 14th, which is 2 days away because it's New Zealand time. So, we'll see what happens with that. I don't know.
I thought maybe if they introduced a different condition, like I don't know.
Well, at that point, wouldn't it have to be a new hero though?
Yeah, not new hero, but like maybe like some other weapon that would benefit from
based.
From a different condition. Like if you played no attack actions this turn, this is way out there. Don't
actually. That's not a horrible idea.
Then it does 3 arcane damage. I don't know. So that you get this like
I mean I don't know about that, but I don't know. Yeah, that's actually kind of creative.
Just some.
I don't know if it's realistic, but that's pretty creative.
Yeah, it's not realistic. Nothing that comes out of my head is realistic, but creative perhaps.
No, you're downplaying. I actually like that. Yeah. I mean, we'd have to. I mean, again, no one's proposing a specific card or anything, but I actually kind of don't hate that. Just but like the problem is, in order for you to play that over Rosetta Thorn, wouldn't you have to make it power creep like the 9s, right? Isn't that the problem?
No, you would. You would have to make it. We'd have to do it better. It'd have to be a 6 damage for $1. I don't know, something crazy. Yeah. So don't make fun of that because it's not serious. But I mean, it's like just rewarding a different condition. That's what I mean. That's the basis of it. And the same thing with all the heroes. If you rewarded a different condition than the hero's based on, and I know that's not great for everyone, but it does give room for other builds. All of a sudden, Prism, in the way I run her, all yellows. Right, every single card.
Not all yellows.
Yeah, all yellow pitch. You want that go again. Everything in your mind is.
What is your deck like? 60% yellow.
It's much more than that. It's all yellows. It's all about trying to get rid of the phantasm. It's got blinding beams. It's got the hand weavers, whatever.
Because that's a blitz deck.
Yeah, of course. But if there was some other condition that would allow her to do something else.
Well, people are screaming through the screen right now saying, well, it's auras. But
of course, yeah. But I meant like, that's just one example.
No, I mean, I think it's, so what would make you... So you're a Prism guy, and that's your only thing. You've gone tall into Prism, right? Yeah. You're not a wide guy. You've gone tall into Prism. What would make you buy 2 cases instead of 1 case of Everfest? What would have to be in that set for Prism to make you do that?
More heralds. What could they do with heralds?
There's probably going to be a herald, and there's probably going to be a generic. Maybe it won't be a herald. There'll probably be a generic illusionist, and there'll probably be or there'll probably be a generic aura and maybe a herald.
Yeah,
probably right.
Probably something that would again reward maybe a different condition in which you could build something differently around. I don't know. This is speaking in like these really vague terms, but something that would allow someone to build. Because for example, we all knew that Boltyn could be played with 2 axes. He comes with that, and then so everyone thought, oh no, Raiden's got to be better. Come on, this is when he first came out. And then people figured Raiden, it's tough to pull off. And then people started throwing those axes around. And then you were like, The axes are great.
I had fun with the axes, but it's not competitive.
Yeah,
the Saber's build is better.
Absolutely. But you're like, whoa, but let's look at the axes. Let's take a look at this. It's a completely different deck. It's a completely different game plan. It's a completely different, order of steps. So if they were to, I guess, introduce something, and bigger minds than me might figure that out, something that would allow you to, I can't think of it, what it would be, but something that would allow you to do a third iteration of each hero.
A third iteration, yeah. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to, because I know that you're someone like me who likes to play, because I know Steve, right? And I know that you're someone who likes to go wide.
Yeah.
Right, so let's do a Blitz round.
Okay.
Right, pun intended. What would have to be in Crucible?
Yeah.
What would have to be in Everfest? To make you want to swing to a warrior?
Oh, okay.
What card would have? It could be anything.
Anything. The sky's the limit.
New weapon. 1 for 7. Suck it.
Yeah. Just easy. Just swing it. My God. Yeah, it would have to be a weapon. Don't be funny. You banish a card from your soul and do arcane damage immediately, like something like like you like Raiden
soul damage. It's coming.
Soul damage.
It's coming.
That's amazing. A whole new type. It's the best kind. No, it's like Raiden swings 0 for 3 if you charged. I don't know, $1 for 3 plus banish a card.
Well, one for 3 is on curve and banish. Actually, that's not a horror. I mean, that's not out of the realm.
It's on par with Rosetta.
1 for 3. Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
1 for 3 plus some additional cost of Rosetta's. That's actually,
something like that.
I could get on board with that.
Yeah, something. Banish from Prism Soul and.
It could even not be 1 for 3. It could be 1 for 2 and banish a card from soul to deal 2 soul damage, or even arcane just to keep it in. That's actually a really good idea.
I'm really liking the term soul damage. I don't know, something about that's resonating, and maybe even, God help me.
That's a really good idea.
Don't come after me, but maybe banish all souls, banish all cards in soul. Gain $1. I don't know, like and
gain a resource.
Go again, yeah. Gain $1. Go again.
But banish all. No, because you want it to scale, right? You don't want to say banish all cards in soul because if there's 0 cards in soul, then
dude, you can't do that. Banish all cards in soul. If
we don't have to get technical on it.
If there are at least 2 or something crazy, because you can't do that. But so you have a free. What I mean is like a way to maybe make those cards make money for something that is bonkers. Well,
they kind of do because Cataclysm is free.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they kind of do.
That's true.
All right. So this is not very much Blitz because we've already been talking this.
Yeah.
I actually like that idea on the weapon though. That's pretty hot.
That would make me drool over Everfest if there was a way to like, oh my God, those cards in soul are going to do some kind of damage, like immediately pay off, not just down the road, but immediately. I would leave Cataclysm out of my deck if that's the way it was.
Oh, if you had some other way to use your soul, yeah.
And that frees up a slot.
Sure.
And
that you're going to replace with the card that
exactly, yeah. But
okay, so Blitz round 2.
I'm sorry.
Let's do Guardian next. What would entice you to play Guardian? And we're obviously invested in this because we're still trying to drag Mike kicking and screaming back into this. So what would invest you? What would make you invest in Guardian if you saw it in Everfest?
Man, I'm on the spot here, so it's not. I didn't have anything prepared. So you guys are gonna pitchfork me, like come after me. But maybe
it's a safe space. It's a safe space.
Yeah, thank you for being safe.
Because I can delete comments.
Awesome. Perhaps a way to So seismic tokens, for example, like they get blown up immediately at the start of every turn, and that affects the next card you play. Maybe something that freezes them. Maybe something that can save them, like prevent them from being blown up immediately.
That's actually not a horrible idea either. You'd have to be very careful with it, obviously.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't want to stack up like 11 seismic tokens.
No,
but maybe if they had to put every resource they had, I mean, maybe, right? Like if you stack up and you get a free crippling crush.
Something in which, like, I thought, like,
if you put 4 turns into it, I mean, that's actually not horrible either. Some
kind of way to, like, make this charging event take place in front of you. I don't know. It would appeal to some people I know.
That would make the cost of tectonic plating go up for sure. Because it's not like the Arknight shard where it costs you more per numbers out there.
Yeah,
it would be tectonic platings. But again, if you had to pay some sort of resource to essentially pay interest on your seismics.
Yeah,
I actually don't hate that idea.
Some way in which you could, like, okay, I'm gonna have a lot, and it's not gonna pay off for me, but maybe there's a way to save it up, or at least save a portion of it. I don't know. I don't know.
Next up.
Yeah. Okay.
Cutting you off.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Dash.
Dash. Ooh, dash.
Well, sorry, not dash. Mechanologists, because there are 2, even though one is completely worthless.
Yeah. Didn't Data Doll take tonight?
No, Adam won. And Adam likes Data Doll. Shout out to Adam. Okay. He took down our armory tonight, and I had an extra Data Doll in the back, which I'd been saving. Okay. I'd been saving for when Adam won. He pulled down the Data Doll.
I feel like
because we are on we're on the bauble kit, which is just baubles for everybody.
Yeah. I already know what I'd want from her, and nobody's gonna like it. But no one is gonna like it. It's either a card.
Maybe I'll like it.
Maybe you'll like it. A card. I don't know the cost. I don't know the condition. The cost removes all steam tokens from all cards and does arcane damage to that's total to a hero.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just bad value. Like,
it's bad value. I know it's bad value. It's not great, but there is the optic card. Whatever. There's an optic.
The monocle.
There's a monocle that has 5 tokens on it. It's 5 steam tokens. It's a lot. Or a card that would move all steam tokens from. They allow you to move them as you wish, or at least some kind of limited amount.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm with you. I think what it would have to read is, like, mechanically, I think it would have to turn each steam token into, like, I'm not saying this is what I'm advocating for, to be clear to the internet, right? But it would have to read that each one of those steam tokens becomes an arcane damage, treat them like a rune, because you wouldn't want to have to deal a packet of 7, like, dealing a packet of 17 packet of 17 arcane would be not in line with the mechanics of the game.
No.
It would have to be 17 pings.
Yeah, it would be like bing, 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 bing. Yeah, and again, I don't know. That's not fine tuned at all. It's just what I mean is another utilization for steam tokens, either a movement or a damage or some way to. I thought about this. Like it would be like a time bomb Majestic card where it costs 6 and then all those steam tokens go off and do.
I could see actually the countdown thing. I kind of don't hate. I could see like a countdown thing where like it is a bomb. Yeah, I mean with Mechanologist, I think I mean there's only one right now, but I do think that there's not. There's 2. Sorry, but I agree. I think Mechanologist is the most hamstrung of the heroes right now because it feels like you have pistol boost and control boost. I mean. You can play, I'm playing at control versus aggro. I was like, I get it, but you're still doing the same thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's like you're just playing a different number of defense reactions, right?
Yeah.
So I do think that's something they can explore. The question will be how much room is in Everfest, because I think we're going to chew up quite a bit of room for the Monarch block, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, at this rate, with everything we're talking about, if it was my plan, every single card to be Majestic and every single card.
There are a bunch more Majestics. There's heavily weighted towards Majestics, which will. I think people don't understand how much that's significantly going to open up the field because it means that whenever you have a rare or a common, you have 3 of them.
Yep.
Right. So by having more Majestics, also we have to buy more.
Yep.
They don't.
I mean, this is a great decision by them.
But I mean, they are changing the distribution a little bit to counter that. But yeah, I mean, yeah. But it opens up the field a lot more. It gives them a lot more flexibility because you don't have to have 9 of every card.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. Next up, well, we already know that you want to do Ranger, so we'll skip Ranger.
Yeah, skip Ranger. I want Ranger to be amazing. Whatever.
Right.
That's end of story.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what Azalea needs. She needs another Boltyn shot, man. Boltyn shot's phenomenal. But who else? I mean, I don't think Brute. All right, I know you don't. I can't really speak intelligently to Brute. I've let way better players in our meta handle Brute, and they are doing a great job with her. What would drag you to? And Wizard will skip. Runeblade will skip.
Yeah, Wizard I don't understand enough to.
So
speak
Ninja,
to,
what's Ninja need to bring you back or to make you interested in Ninja?
I guess
you just need a new hero, or
I think Ninja players.
Because I don't think you can do a better weapon than Kandachi.
No.
I don't think you can do it.
I
mean, unless it's the same thing that does 2.
Someone might say, this is really generic, but like a ninja themed like defense reaction that was, because I don't think that there's a lot available.
Well, I mean, Flick Flack's phenomenal.
Flick Flack. Sorry, that is good. Again, I'm still learning the cards. I had to remember that. I thought in my mind, like thematically, I thought there'd be again. I think too much thematically too. I'm like, oh, ninjas. I imagine like this Batman-ish like smoke screen like thing coming out, like a smoke screen card in which it's like an instant that that just stops the hero's action, like the attacking action. It just stops it. I know.
Actually, there's a precedent for that kind of feigned death for Ranger.
Yes,
because if you've already taken a hit,
it just stops it.
So
right?
yeah, I can. Yeah.
Something I don't know, like that could just like
smoke bomb.
Yeah, I know. Smoke bomb. Yeah, just immediately. Stop it. It's all over. You're done. Draw your cards, cry in your oatmeal, and let the ninja do what you do. I don't think it needs that.
I don't think you can intern. I think speed.
No, yeah.
I follow. I follow.
This isn't a realistic thing. This is me thinking thematically. I'm like, where's the smoke bomb? I want that on a card. I just want to see the art. So
it's your new offhand weapon.
Yeah. Just
I love that. I fucking love that.
A smoke bomb token. That's what I really want. A smoke bomb token. And you just blow it up immediately. No, that's obviously ridiculous. But anyway, that's what I was thinking thematically. Some way to like end these big, long, huge turns, because I don't know. That's what
I don't know how I haven't thought of that already.
I'm thinking too thematically. That's my problem. I'm not thinking like functionally or I guess what I want to say tactically. I'm thinking like what's going to be the fun play that just makes everyone go like, no, why'd you have that? Yeah, so anyway, that's my thing there.
All right, so I mean, I think we've hit enough, and again, we're getting too specific on stuff and having a good time, and you know what?
We're having a good time.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But kind of looping it back to discussion for someone who's relatively new getting into it, or maybe who isn't new to Flesh and Blood. Like, I mean, I think you're a perfect example. You're not new to Flesh and Blood, but you're new to playing competitively.
That's exactly
right.
I'm new to
into whatever term competitive means for us versus other people. To be fair,
which to me means getting slaughtered every night. So it's fine. But yeah, no, that's exactly where I am. I'm not a guy that's out there trying to win everything. I'm the guy. I'm just happy to be at the table. Again, we do on Levia. By the way, on Levia, I do think I want Doomsday out there earlier. I don't know how to do that. That's something that would allow.
You'd have to do a new card at this point. But.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing I would do different. Somehow get Doomsday out there earlier, or another way to get Plasma fed out. I don't know what that would be. That's my dream for Levia. That's it.
That's all right. I think it's okay that it's hard to get the allies out.
I think so.
but so back to where I was going, right? So as someone who's relatively, maybe even a veteran player, relatively new to competitive, What's your advice? What are your parting shot words to someone who's maybe watching, but avoids the boards because they don't want to get in fights with people who are effectively trolls?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What are your advice to someone who's looking to get into it?
Okay. Just
get into it more. To clarify.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, get into more. Dive in as fast as possible. I don't mean monetarily or anything. I mean
that's a really good. That's really good comment.
Borrow decks, borrow cards, make friends, put together what you can, and just start playing. I don't know how things are run until I'm face to face with them, and then I'm getting beat up, and now I'm like, that's the plan. That makes sense to me. Wow, that was a really good time. So that's my advice. Just get in there as fast as possible. If you can do it without breaking the bank, all the better. There is this very strange. This is me talking strange. I don't quite understand it because I'm new. It's not just we want to play the game and we're competitive and stuff, but there's also this investing side to FaB that I don't quite understand. Yes, I have a box of Crucible of War Unlimited that I bought thinking, I can do something with this. But I'm not anywhere close to people hoarding cardboard. I don't quite understand it or get it. I do see the value of just getting out there more, but maybe that's me that sees the value of getting out there after a few years of
and by getting out there, out to play and interact with the community.
Yeah, getting out there, just interacting, just talking to people, having a great time. So that, to me, that's the value of all this stuff. So get out there. Don't worry about being competitive or getting stumped on, because it's not that bad. I'm talking from experience. It's not that bad.
I think those are good points and good advice, right? So if anybody's on the fence about having gone out or not, you just heard it from him. Just go out and do it. And the worst thing that happens is that you burn a Tuesday night or you burn right, and and if you leave thinking that there's a bunch of smelly dudes in the play. Right? That's the worst thing that happens, is that you just have the same opinion that you had before you went there, right? So, and you're not going to, right? Because I think that by and large, 99% of these communities are amazing, fantastic, accepting, and I do think you're going to have a good time, and it's going to help you grow your enjoyment in the game, right? So, before we get out of here, I do want to give, again, a shout out to not only Gongai, which is where we were tonight, but also to Trevor over at FaB Hobby. Right, he's mutual friend of ours. Obviously much better friend of yours, but someone who I've met through you and through gaming. Really good guy. Go check him out. What did you want to say?
I was going to say, there's so many people that are just eager to get people in on this. It's to me, it's been hard to find any barrier I've encountered. Someone's ready to help with that. So. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Yeah,
perfect. The Flesh and Blood community in person is a really, really good thing, at least from my personal and your personal. So, anyway, thank you for coming. I know you're drinking faster than me and you're out, but
I'm so
cheers anyway. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And go Commando.
Go Commando.
No worries. All right, well, great. And we'll have to edit that because I completely lost my train of thought.
Okay, man, this is really fun. Just to speak about FaB, and that this is fun. We should do more of this.
No, awesome.
I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the very least, you drink faster than me. But thanks for coming, man. Cheers.
Cheers to you, Mister.
And want to thank our
whoa. Edit all.
Fucking train wreck. Edit
it all out.